Hello, good afternoon. This is David Stoddard talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of February 21st through February 25th, 2022. Okay, and like always, what I do is I will look at all the major Forex currency pairs on a 30-minute time frame, just so we can see what happened this past week, right? And then I'm going to compare the higher time frames, the 1 hour and 4 hour, and then I will zoom in and zoom out of the charts to give you a bigger broader picture of what the market is doing, and then based on my experience, I'll try to give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week. All right. So to begin with, this past week, pretty much everything was in a flat range of market. Okay, there's a lot of ups and downs. There is a lot of fighting in the market. Okay, everything's wanting to gain traction. Everything's wanting to go up. Not everything can go up at the same time, right? Like I said in last week's video, if one currency pair goes up, the other one must come down. Okay, there's no way around it. Okay, so if both if both currencies want to go up, you're going to have some really tight gridlock. You're not going to have a lot of movement in the market. Okay, so unfortunately, that's what's happening right now. So we can trade, on smaller time frames. Okay. Like 1 minute or 5 minute chart. If you put on a 5 minute chart, we can get some little profits. Now, typically, I like to open a trade and then close it on the opposite arrow. But when you're in a flat range of market, it's hard to do that. Okay, so when you get a downtrend like this, even if you use a 15-minute chart, see here we have a nice downtrend here. Okay, so you have multiple signals to sell, and I think this Euro USD is going to be going down long term. But anyhow, what you can do is just place a trade and hold it, okay, and catch like 100 pips, okay, 100 pips or points depending on your broker. But let's say we place a trade somewhere right in here, okay, after we get this red arrow, and you look down here. Down here is already 400 points. So you can easily get 100 points out of this, okay? And if I look here, 100 points is only right about here. So you had a little short downtrend and then back up again, all right? The candles turn blue here on the Heikin-Ashi candles, and then when they turn red again, you can sell again, okay? If you want to do that, okay? So, but imagine getting like 100 points twice a week per currency pair. Okay, do that on 5 different currency pairs, you get 1,000 points or 1,000 pips in 1 week. All right, so that's not bad. Okay, that's pretty good movement, especially in a flat range of market like this. Okay, we're not going after huge profits. All right, so what's going to happen with Euro USD? Now, typically when you have a flat range of market, that's a sign there's about to be a reversal in the market. Right now, there's a lot of COVID pandemics across the globe, man, pretty much in many countries. I know they have a lot of fight in Canada. It's beginning in the U.S. It's going in France, Germany, Great Britain. There's a lot of protests, which is really affecting the economies in different countries. So everything is in turmoil right now. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen here in the next few weeks. But what we can do is just kind of look at what's been happening for the past few weeks or the past month, and everything goes in cycles, man. I don't care what happens in the economy or what happens with political governments. Everything goes in cycles. So if we look here on a 4-hour chart and we zoom out on Euro USD, we see that we had a long downtrend, a big uptrend, and it started to come down and went back up again. Now it's starting to go down. So meaning long term is going to be dropping more. How far will it drop? I don't know. I do not think it's going to drop all the way down to here. Again, this is dependent if the US dollar goes up. Like I said, one goes down, the other must go up. So if the US dollar goes up, this one is going to drop. Okay, guaranteed. So will it come down to here? I don't know. But what I do know, what we know, is there's a support line right here. Okay, that's a pretty solid support right there. When you see a candle like that shoot down, that's a marker indicator in the market. Okay, that's an indicator that, hey, this is a support or a resistance. I could click on this and drag it up to right here, and we see this candle right here marked a high point. Okay, for whatever reason, that's a high point in the market. Okay, that is not by accident. Okay, that's intentional. So you can see that point is hit many times, and we're just below that now. So what I think is going to happen, and like I said, I'm not a fortune teller, but if I bring this down here, that is a strong support level. Now obviously there's a lower support here. Do I think it's going to drop that far? Nah, probably not, at least not in the next few weeks. Maybe in the next few months it might. All right, so we can count on this going down. Now this coming week, I would probably guess that it's probably going to, price is going to end lower than where it is right now. So I would look to sell. Okay, now you see we got some ups and downs. Price dropped, came back up, started to drop again. It looks like it's going to keep dropping, but what I think is going to happen, just based on what has happened in the past, is that this price will probably go back up some more the first half of the week, and around Wednesday shoot back down, and then by Friday it should end down here or lower, you know, a few hundred points, maybe 500 points lower than where it is right now. Okay, so yes, be on the lookout for this price to drop. I would probably set a sell limit pennant order a little bit higher than where it is right now, and catch that price, you know, when it retraces back up. Okay, it most always does that. Okay, of course no guarantee, but based on historical data, what we see in the past, that's most likely what's going to happen this week. So anyhow, also I want to show you a quick strategy. I'm going to make another video on this, but I want to kind of point this out real quick since I'm here, is how to use moving averages with my indicator. Okay, I have a really simple strategy which I built my new automatic trading robot on, and it just combines two moving averages. Okay, and it's going to be a 20 period exponential moving average. Okay, you can choose whatever color you want. I'm going to choose yellow here for the 20 period, and then also a 5 period. Okay, 5 period moving average, and I guess I can pick blue for that one. I don't know if you can see that, but basically when the 5 period crosses the 20, that is the time to place the trade. Okay, now moving averages, there is no perfect, you know, strategy, especially when it's moving sideways. Okay, but you see here, if I zoom in a little bit, you see here the price broke here, and that's the perfect time to sell. Okay, same here, the price broke right here, all right, and dropped. Yes, the price did come back up. Okay, so there's, like I said before, just shoot for 100 pips, 100 points. If your price drops here below this candle, you can easily look at that 300 pips out of that. So if you go for, just don't be greedy. Okay, go say to take profit for like 100 points, 100 pips, and be done. All right, and same thing here. I would not buy, because the signal, the bigger signal, says to sell. Okay, so only sell. So when you get a, you know, a price, a clean break of this trend line, you can sell. If you notice here, the price broke here on this moving average here, and you easily get 100 points out of that, several hundred. Okay, and of course, you know, at this point here, you're not going to know the future, how far it's going to drop, but we can clearly see that it did drop quite a bit. Okay, so we could enter and exit this thing several times, and actually, if you want, okay, you could place a sell trade when this breaks, okay, and then close it when the 5 period moves back, crosses above the 20 period moving average, like this. Okay, you would have a nice little profit. If you sold right about here and, you know, close the trade right about here, you would have at least about 400 pips in total profit. Okay, that's pretty decent. And then if we did it again, repeat the process here, right? Breaks here, and then close the trade when it crosses above here. That's 800. Okay, 800 pips or points, depending on your broker. So that's really good. Now, obviously, you could buy here, and we're just looking back in retrospect. But again, we want to go with the color of the arrow, so we're only going to sell. Okay, that's going to be our safest bet. Okay, and we can. This will apply to any time frame. I mean, you go to the 4-hour, go to the 4-hour chart. Okay, see the same thing here. With the 4-hour, you could, and this is more of, you know, a long-term trade, but it's good because you don't have to be constantly monitoring your charts, right? So you could place a sell trade here and then close the trade here when it crosses back above, or wait till you get the next arrow and close that trade. Okay, either way, you'd have at least 2,000 pips or points in total profit. And then again, now you have a blue arrow going up, and you could apply the same strategy. Place a buy trade here and close it up here. And again, you have at least another 2,000 pips or points in total profit. Now, obviously, this trade is going to be open for about 2 weeks. So you're going to incur some swap fees along the way, which will eat your profits. But that's okay. As long as you're having profit, it's okay. Let the broker get their little bit of commission out of it. But what sucks is if your trade is negative drawdown, then you have swap fees adding into your negative. That really bites. Okay, we've all experienced that if you've been trading for a while. But like right now, the price definitely broke here and it came back up, and it just now broke again. So I predict that this will be dropping more, okay, here in the next couple weeks. So it's going to take some time before we see another blue arrow. So definitely be prepared to sell. Moving on to GBP USD, we see kind of a similar thing, but this one actually shot up. We only see one red arrow here on the 30-minute time frame. The price did go up, but soon it's going to be coming back down. The Great British Pound is a strong currency, okay? If not one of the strongest currencies in the world, right? They have a big reserve. US dollar technically is the strongest currency in the world, but the Great British Pound is trailing close behind them, okay? For many years, hundreds of years, the Great British Pound was the, you know, de facto currency in the world. So the Great British Pound is still very strong, so we cannot rule it out. Let's go to a 4-hour chart real quick. We know we're in a kind of a range of market already, but we see the price did go up and should be coming back down now. Okay, so that pretty much falls in line with what I was saying. Let me shift the chart over so you can see a better picture here. But basically, like I said, you can clearly see the price went up and it's starting to come back down again. So if we mark this level of resistance right here, it hit the same point several times. So I was counting on that this past week, and I just knew it would, and now it is going down. So we should see a continuation of this downtrend emerging. What I think is probably the next 2 weeks, we will see this slowly go down. Obviously, we are pushing towards the end of February now. So the remainder of this month, I should expect this to be dropping. Okay. Now again, that's all dependent if the US dollar goes up. I don't know, but based on what I'm seeing right here, I feel that this will be going down. So we want to focus on selling. Okay, right now is a good time to sell. And if you can place a sell trade right now if you want, but also I would put a sell limit pennant order a few hundred points above and catch it when it retraces. Okay, if it does, I don't know. It might drop right now and keep dropping. We don't know the exact future, right? But we want to kind of play it safe. Okay, you could put if you place a sell trade right now, chances are, we call it Murphy's Law, will go up more. So then you have a drawdown. So that's why you would put a sell limit here to counteract the negative trade if you place a sell trade now. All right. and that's okay. If you put just a sell limit only here, chances are you'll never get activated. So it's like a catch-22. It's risky either way. So make sure you use a small lot size compared to your account balance to manage your money properly. All right. So anyhow, what I would do is place a sell trade and wait for the next blue arrow. Okay, that's very possible. But again, we have 2 red arrows in a row. So if you can get a few hundred points out of this, good. Okay, not a big deal. All right. We're not, especially in the flat range market, we're not looking for huge profits. Okay. But if we look at the 4-hour chart, we see that, you know, we had a nice little uptrend here, and now it's going back down. So if you want to sell now, it's a good point. It's actually a good time to sell now and hold, okay, for the next few weeks until you get a blue arrow. So that is very possible. Or, like I said, you can just get a few hundred points and get out. So you don't have to incur a lot of swap fees along the way. But do be looking to sell the Great British Pound this week. Now moving on to Australian dollar versus US dollar. Again, this is very similar to what we just saw a minute ago, where this price slowly escalated up. Now it's hit a strong level of resistance and should be coming back down. Okay. If we look here on the, well, if I zoom out, I'm on the 30-minute chart. Well, we can go to a 30-minute, 1 hour, whatever, it don't matter. But we look at the 1 hour chart, which is the default time size that I recommend. We see that the price has 2 red arrows in a row, and the price did drop and in fact came back up. Now, it did not quite go back up to the same level of resistance, which is good. That means that it is slowly working itself into a downtrend. It's going to be a while before we see another blue arrow. Okay, I'm guessing probably another 2 weeks or more before we see another blue arrow. So where we stand right now with this currency pair, you could put a sell trade and just hold it until you get the next blue arrow. And if you place a sell trade right now, you could put a sell limit pennant order a few hundred points above and catch that one also, because chances are it's going to retrace and come back up some and then drop. Okay, it just always does that. So be prepared. But yes, overall it will be dropping long term. Moving on to US dollar versus the Swiss franc. Now, if these currency pairs are going to be dropping over the next few weeks, the US dollar should be going up. Should be. Now, let's look here on the 30-minute time frame for USD CHF. And we see that this is clearly dropped this past week. Okay? But there's no blue arrow. All right? But that's okay. Interesting, right? So, like I said, Euro USD, all these went up some, and they should be going down. Now this one's USD CHF should be going back up. There's no blue arrow, okay, which is a little bit frustrating. But as we can see here, this price has been riding sideways and fighting. Okay, now this past week or so, price has dropped. All right, and now it's ranging, and what I'm guessing, just based on what has happened already, is the price is going to go back up again. Okay, now obviously this has a down arrow and no blue arrow. So what's going to happen? So that is the dilemma we get into. If the Euro, Great British Pound, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, all this pair is going to be headed down over the next few weeks, this one should be going up for the next few weeks. Okay, but looking at this, you would think that it's going to be going down for the next few weeks. So we can't have both going down together. So what I think is this: I think the US dollar is going to be going up. Okay, I really do. Okay, there's no blue arrow, but yes, I'm thinking the US dollar will be going up, and then probably for the remainder of this month, we will see this go up. Okay, now going into March, we will see it drop back down and continue its way down. Okay, like I said, something's got to go up, something's got to go down. So But again, do not expect any huge movements, okay? No 1,000 pip gains, nothing like that, okay? Just a few hundred points at a time, and you will be perfectly fine, okay? Just focus on that. We have some little spikes up and down. Here is US dollar versus Japanese yen, okay? USD JPY, okay? Again, we saw the price drop this past week and start to come back up. So, is the price going to continue to go up? More than likely, okay? More than likely, okay? It's been going down for a while now. I feel that long term this will be dropping more, but what I think is going to happen, and this is just me, I think the price is going to go up by the next week or two, okay? And then we see here on the 30-minute time frame, we have a red arrow followed by a lower red arrow, right? Followed by an even lower red arrow, which we do not see yet. So where was the next red arrow going to show? Well, we have a resistance here. It could definitely do that. Or we have a resistance here. Okay? And this spot here would probably be my target, where I think the price is going to form another red arrow. So somewhere in here, it could be right here. Let me click on this. Right here also, there's a resistance right here. It's a marker, but it's not a very, very strong resistance, but it is a resistance. So somewhere in here, we're going to see another red arrow form. Okay, that's almost a guarantee. Look at the past here. We have red arrows followed by higher. Now keep in mind I'm on a 30-minute time frame. That's why I like the 1 hour, because you see fewer arrows. Okay, so here we have on the 1 hour we have a red arrow followed by higher, and more than likely we'll probably get another red arrow on the 1 hour chart. I don't know, but at least a 30-minute. On 30-minute, even 15-minute, you're going to get a lot more arrows. Look at that. Look at the 15-minute chart, how many arrows you got. So that's the thing about this indicator. Okay, you're going to get a lot of signals to buy or sell, but they're all going to be going with the bigger trend. Okay, you're not going to get buy and sell signals if you're in a downtrend. So you could put your charts on a 15-minute time frame and place multiple trades with every sell signal that you get, and then close them all when you get the next blue arrow. Okay, it's a very effective strategy. So right now, if you're looking at this, is on the 15-minute time frame. If you look at this 15-minute time frame, you see the price is already starting to drop, but what will probably happen is it'll come back up some and then drop again. Okay, I don't know if the Great British Pound is going to be dropping, Euro is going to be dropping, this can't be dropping. So I don't know what's going to happen, but it's so interesting to see. You see here we had an uptrend. We had red arrows and it went up. We had red arrows going down. We might have more red arrows going up. So if you look at the 4-hour chart, we see kind of the same thing. Okay, of course we have a blue arrow here, but we have a blue arrow, then 2 red arrows. So it is possible. Okay, I'm trying to see if we had 3 red, or three in a row of the same color. But it is possible to have 3 red arrows in a row. Could have another higher red arrow. So keep that in mind. I don't think it's going to happen, but it very well could. So it might drop this week and form a blue arrow and then go up. Okay, so that is very, very possible also. So everything can't drop, everything can't go up. So be careful with this one. Okay, I have a feeling this one will be going up, and probably what will happen, my guess is that the first half of the week is going to drop, and then the remainder of the week is going to go up. If not, then majority of this week it will drop, and then next week it will go back up as we move into March. Okay, I don't know. So right now it looks like you're safe to sell, but do not go after huge profits. Okay, go after like 100, maybe 200 points, and that's it. Okay, just to be safe. All right, moving on to USD CAD, which is our final in the lineup here. This one is a lot different. Okay, now with all the protests in Canada, the Canadian economy is suffering right now. I'll tell you that. Okay, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So if the Canadian dollar, the value of the Canadian dollar drops, the US dollar is going to go up. Okay, now of course both of these are kind of strong currencies anyways, and we see that we have a lot of range of markets, but I'm thinking that the US dollar is going to be going up. It's already shot up quite a bit, back up to the same level it is right now. Now we're kind of at a resistance. It might come back down in the first half of the week, and then towards the end of the week, shoot back up again. If I go to the 4-hour chart, get a bigger picture of what's going on. And you can see here it's been riding sideways for quite some time, right? Since pretty much the beginning of, well, this was all of January, and then from beginning of February until now, it's just been riding sideways. All right, so I'm thinking that the prices of this is going to go up a little bit more. And if we mark our resistance here, I don't know, we have a resistance level right here, and that would be the point where it's going to go up this week and then come back down. What I think is going to happen is we will see another red arrow form at this point again, unless it breaks. But we should see another red arrow form and then a long downtrend emerge. I'm thinking the US dollar is going to be dropping here in the next few months. I don't know, okay? But that's just my feeling based on what has happened in the past. I think the Canadian dollar is probably going to shoot up more, which would cause this one to drop. Okay? Like I said, I don't know. I can only tell you what I see right now, that we have a strong resistance right here. If it breaks that resistance, then yes, it's going to go up even higher. But chances are it's going to keep dropping. It'll probably hit a red arrow and drop down more. All right, I don't know. If I zoom out a little more, we see we have a low area here, followed by a higher low area, followed by a higher low area. So we have a nice uptrend going up. This is a long uptrend, okay? It's more than 6 months, like 7 months or something. But with time, give it time, it's going to form another long downtrend, okay? That could take another 6 months for this cycle to go back down, okay? So that's kind of what I am looking at. Because see, now we got a high point followed by a lower high point followed by a lower high point. I don't know. Okay, so we might have another high point here and then another lower. Okay, forming a new downtrend. Okay, it's very, very possible. So we just have to play it by ear. So, but this week only, what I think is going to happen is the price will shoot up a little bit in the beginning of the week, and then for the remainder of the week it's going to shoot back down. So I would wait for a red arrow before you go selling, and I would not buy right now because it's already shot up so much. You could buy right now, catch a few pips, but it's not worth your time. All right, wait till you get a red arrow and then sell. All right, so I hope that helped a little bit. If you have any questions, or if you want me to examine another currency pair not listed here, please hit me up on Facebook. I put a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook. Please contact me there first. Also, I put a link for my private Facebook group, and you can request to join my Facebook group and post any questions or comments in my Facebook group. All right. So with that said, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and let me know how I can help you. Thank you so much.